Stone Cherry with Ben. First of all, the question I have to ask, how and why Wrexham? How did you end up playing here today?
You know, we've been asked that before, but I think the main thing is with us is that when we come over and do our own tour, like we did in March, we did a big headline tour, you know, and then we always come back for the summer festivals. So rather than have a bunch of day offs, you know, rather than playing on the weekends, we told our agent and our management, we said, look, book as many shows as you can, you know. We don't care where they're at, as long as there's a club that will have us, you know. And, you know, so that's really the reason we go to these kind of out-of-the-way places that not a lot of bands come to, you know. This is our first time playing this city. It should be fun, you know.
It was that much of a surprise. Nobody believed it at first because it's such a small. You know, we get some good bands here. Don't get me wrong. We've had Robert Plant here in the past, which is cool. There's been some decent bands, but when somebody that's been sort of doing so well in the UK, like yourselves, was talking to all my mates over the weekend, and none of us actually believed at first that you were coming here.
It's cool, you know, because it provides, you know, a different atmosphere than what we normally do when we headline. You know, when we headline, normally it's big, you know, 1,000 or more seat rooms. So when we come to places like this, it's way more intimate, a lot smaller, and I think it's just something cooler for the fans too. You know?
Yeah, I only saw you last year. Me and Harry, we both went to see the Alter Bridge tour, and you know, I was surprised as well for that gig how many of your own fans you brought along. Because to me, you know, I noticed after you, and then I noticed the difference even in the Alter Bridge attendance and the Theory of a Dead Man, that there was less people there, which, you know, I thought was quite cool.
We've been very fortunate to have such a following in the UK. You know, our fans are loyal. And, you know, I just talked to some kids that have been out there. You know, 6 hours. You know, and it's just like, man, I can't fathom that, but it's awesome. You know, we're very appreciative of it.
You've just done. I can't believe the contrast in the weather. It's always like this in Wales. It's never like this in Wales. What was it like playing Isle of Wight at the weekend? Because it was reported on the news that the weather and everything was atrocious.
It was yesterday. Apparently we had the best day. The sun was, I mean, it was a little chilly because of the wind, but it didn't rain. You know, it was very muddy. But apparently it wasn't as muddy as it had been in the days prior. So I guess we were on the best day, you know. But it was just a mess, you know. It was a mess.
I heard that people are even paying £800 just to fly their own helicopters in. They're all clubbing together.
I don't blame them. I don't blame them. I'd have done the same thing if I had the money.
Going back, almost back to the beginning, you know, with the influence of the Kentucky headhunters and all of you, and using their place to practice, you know, where did that all start about? I know one of drummer's son, was it? That was the dad was in the Kentucky Headliners.
Yeah, John Frigg. His dad and his uncle both are in the Headhunters, and really, when we first started, we just kind of took over their practice house, you know. But they really embraced it because, you know, obviously they're into music, and they thought, you know, they saw us as young kids, and all of our parents are very supportive. So we were very lucky to have a place like that to rehearse and call home, so to speak, you know, for the band. A lot of bands run into the issue where they want to play and rehearse, but they don't want to have the spot, you know. But this place is perfect because it's in the middle of nowhere. You know, it's family owned. It was just a perfect spot.
Were they a major influence to you themselves, or?
They really helped us out. I mean, they still do. You know, John Fred's dad still is very much involved in everything we do. Just with helping on making decisions, making good judgment calls. You know, more so here in the past. As of late, he's kind of loosened up the reins a little bit because I think he's seen that we've been out here doing it, we've been touring, you know. They're all still very much involved, and everybody's family.
So I can't believe you've been going, what now, 11 years I think it is. It's like, you don't look old enough, none of it.
I know. Well, we started when we were so young, you know. I was 15 when we started,
Cool. What about influences then? Is it, you know, obviously I really like the sound, no sort of, you know, no frills, just pure out, more or less balls out rock and roll kind of music. Are bands like obviously Skinnerd, Government Mule, those kind of bands?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. It's actually there's been a noise curfew all day. Now's the only time they can make sound. Allman Brothers. Aerosmith. My biggest influence of all time, though, is Elvis.
Elvis, cool. Going back to last year when you toured with Alter Bridge, it almost seems to me like you got on really well. You know, I've seen the videos of Alter Bridge crew wearing all Blackstone cherry stuff and vice versa.
Alter Bridge, they've been one of the best bands we toured with. You know, we were like friends. We still are. It wasn't just a thing where we had to get along because we were touring together. We were friends. We had done several tours with them in America prior to the European one. So by the time we got here, we were all just very tight, hanging out. You know, it was very cool.
Before then?
Oh yeah.
How do you like them about? Just
through just touring, really.
Yeah.
Meeting them on the road. We just hit it off really good.
They seem to be a cool bunch of guys. One thing I suspect as well, looking at performances on YouTube and seeing you live last year, do you try to put more towards your live performances than your albums? Because obviously now it seems to me with the way music's going that before it used to be albums would be released for means of a tour. Right. Now it seems as if the opposite, it's touring.
Yeah, you know, our live show is the most important thing we have, you know. That's really been our calling card. Fans gave us a lot of fans. So, you know, we always try and think of ways, we want to make the best albums we can, but our live performance is something that we never want to, you know, get lazy with, you know, because that's what people come to see.
Yeah.
You can't download a concert, you know. That's the whole thing. People can steal music all day long, but the atmosphere of a concert will never be taken away. So as long as you're worth seeing, you know, you can have a career, I think.
Yeah. I also looked as well. I didn't realise because I couldn't make it in March. I was out the country when you last played the UK. You were doing covers. You're doing Adele covers. How did all that come about? Why Adele?
It really spur of the moment. Last summer, fans over, you know.
Yeah.
I would say, let's do something crazy, man. Let's do something that people wouldn't normally expect us to do. They would expect us to do Leonard Skinner. They would expect us to do Blackfoot or Molly Hatchet. You know? Let's do something totally different. And we did. Everybody just went nuts over it. I didn't expect people to react like they did.
What other plans do you have? You obviously have done Isle of Wight. Have you got anything else coming up? Other festivals over the next?
Yeah, we do one more show in Wales tomorrow, a headline show. Then we go to Germany, do some headline shows there, and then France, Sweden, Italy, and we finish up in the UK again. And then we go home, and then we're going to do some US touring. Probably start writing for a new album before the end of the year.
Is Europe, you think, like almost like Alter Bridge? I think Alter Bridge have gone similar path to yourselves, where they've I think I've been seeing them since 2005. They've concentrated heavily on Europe. I think that's where they found their biggest.
It's definitely our biggest fan base, you know.
Yeah.
And we don't want to leave anybody else behind. We don't want to leave America behind, but we have to go where we're wanted and we're in demand. You know, we always try and balance both America, U.S. You know, Europe and U.S. And try and figure out ways to do both.
I was going to say, was any message for fans in the UK?
We love you very much. You know? We wouldn't be here without everybody, and we truly mean that when we say that. You know, we're thankful every day that we have the ability to do what we do and the fans we made. It's awesome.
Thank you very much for your time.
No problem.
Cheers, Ben.